Come on.
Operation Endeavour in full force. Officers stormed this property in Wisbech around 4 a.m. It was part of the biggest raid of its kind ever in Cambridgeshire to root out gangmasters exploiting migrant workers here on the Fens. More than 300 people were involved in the raids. This was a joint operation between Cambridgeshire Police and the Gangmasters Licensing Authority. There were simultaneous raids at 8 addresses across the Wisbech, March and Kings Lynn areas, and there were 9 arrests in total, 2 from the property behind me. One of the men taken away was considered to be one of the main targets. Officers also raided the premises of 2 Gangmaster recruitment agencies based in March, Roberto Mac Limited and Slender Contracting Limited. They've both had their licences suspended with immediate effect.
We're dealing with these people today and a certain number of exploited workers. I'm quite sure that's only the tip of the iceberg, and there would be many, many more across Fenland and across Wisbech. We are hoping that today's operation sends a message out to the people involved in that, and we're hopeful that they will amend their ways, and hopefully the whole environment around Wisbech will see a change for the better.
Gangmasters prey on vulnerable migrant workers, most of whom are legally entitled to live and work here, but who don't know the language and need help establishing themselves. Victims, in this case mainly from Lithuania and Latvia, are promised a better life in the UK, steady work and good accommodation. But when they get here, the reality is very different.
Well, they've been subject to overcrowded conditions. They're having bank accounts opened up for them because English isn't their main language. The person opening up the bank account will have the ATM card sent to his or her address. So therefore, when they are paid by the food factories and things, the gangmaster is then going with the ATM card, cleaning out the account, giving the worker, the victim, about £10 to live off, housing them in unsafe, unsatisfactory, overcrowded conditions, keeping their passports or identity cards so they can't leave the country or seek any help.
Today's raids are the culmination of months of investigation work and build on an ongoing operation tackling the squalid and overcrowded conditions workers are forced to live in. In Wisbech alone, it's estimated there are more than 1,000 people living in such conditions.
You hear the stories of people who are only earning, £20 a week after paying somebody, a middle person, all of this money. And these are real stories. And I think sometimes we get a little bit déjà vu in the Fens about it because it is so often happening.
Following today's raid, a centre has been set up to look after affected workers. The Red Cross is offering first aid, clothing and food, as well as people for victims to talk to. Those arrested are being questioned on suspicion of various offences, including conspiracy to defraud at March Police Station. Tanya Mercer, ITV News, Wisbech.